Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Bussin with the Boys. This is episode 223, and we are here to talk to you about something very special, near and dear to our hearts, and that is the Chevy Silverado. You know we are truck guys through and through, and the Chevy Silverado has been a partner with unstoppable grit and determination. It's been our most valuable truck. And now the first ever all-electric Silverado joins the franchise. Dude, it's just the eyes.
You got it.
We got
you know this thing by heart.
Yeah,
you know this thing
we
by
guys
heart.
See these things in experience. Let me tell you, it is an absolute game changer. Available 400-mile range GM estimated on a full charge. Over
so you're telling
10
me,
feet of length.
You're telling me if you plug it in on a full charge, you get 400 miles?
That's what I'm telling you, brother.
Holy shit.
It's an estimated GM, so you might get 405.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's incredible.
What's the tailgate like?
No, I'll tell you about the tailgate. You want to know what the tailgate? It has over 10 feet of length in the bed with the multiflex tailgate combined with the multiflex mid-gate, a large 17-inch diagonal display screen. Large 17-inch diagonal display screen,
17
brother.
17 inches?
That's ridiculous. I know. It can tow up to 1,000 pounds of max towing.
Wait, what?
1,000.
10. There's 10.
10,000.
10,000 towing.
That is 10x this thing.
Yeah.
That is 10x it. 0 to 60 in under 4.5 seconds, which is?
My 40 time.
That's right, with the wow mode, which I guess we're sticking with it, dude. Up to an impressive 785 foot-pounds of torque, which people have told me over and over again what torque is. I still don't know. Please head over to Chevy.com.
Jack, what is torque again?
More.
How fast you get off the line.
Ooh.
Quickly you get off the line. You can.
Will had that torque at that pro day when he was running that 4.5, 640, dude. Damn. So I missed a lot, dude. I missed a big conversation on Monday. It was about who would win the fight, Jedis or Wizards.
The original argument was just if you had to get rid of one universe, what would
that
it
was
be?
the original question.
And then it's now gone to who would win in a fight, which I don't really have a horse in it because it's kind of obvious. But
yeah, but it seems like if those are two different arguments, I might have two different conclusions. Because if you're talking about destroying a universe, like you've seen those Star Wars scenes where they're having big time fights. They have the little robots that kind of walk and they kind of shoot. And those guys in the white suits, those are going too. Like those are armies. Talking about spaceships and all that. I'm pretty sure Hogwarts doesn't have that. They still got like flying horse carriages. Like those horses are getting banked in a second going over the top. So I'm thinking if you're going universe versus universe, I think Star Wars is going to take it in the blink of an eye.
Which I respect that because I know you're a big Harry Potter.
I am.
I think it's funny. I was laughing with JP yesterday because I was like, yeah, I actually mess with Harry Potter. It's just funny that now it seems like I'm hating on Harry Potter.
Yeah. But I think if you go a one-on-one battle, like who's the best Jedi out there?
Yoda.
Yeah, I think Yoda versus what? I don't know if it's Harry. Would it be Dumbledore? Yeah, Voldemort. It depends, dude. If you're doing a long distance, like from me to Jack, how far does that go? How far does the hand go? But these little Wingardium Leviosas, that little fucking beam of light that comes out of the wand, that might be a bit of a farther deal. You know? Yeah, he's got a weapon, but also like he could do that with you too.
You know.
Avada Kedavra. Have we not talked about Avada Kedavra? Because Avada Kedavra, he's gone, instant, blows up, disintegrated. Yeah, Harry Potter boys can do that too. No, they're like mimes, but their shit actually happens. They can do whatever. They can put themselves in a glass box if they want, and the shit's over.
Yoda is washing anybody who's in front of him.
You think so?
I mean,
athletically, Yoda has it. I've seen him fight. He can flip and do tricks and stuff.
Boy sits there,
parkour.
He sits there crutching in there, and the next thing you know, he's flipping, doing acrobats all over.
Yeah, we had to talk about that too, because that pissed me off, like in Willy Wonka, when the guy walks out of his chocolate factory on the cliff, and all of a sudden he does a somersault.
Yeah,
and it's like, yo, what? And Yoda does that. He's always making people sleep on him.
I mean, like Anakin Skywalker, who is Darth Vader, grows up to be Darth Vader.
Don't spoil it. A lot of people haven't seen it. A lot of people haven't.
Mitch included. Yeah, Mitch.
That's crazy.
Well, that's on you, brother. But Anakin Skywalker, he completely wiped out, destroyed, slaughtered an entire school of young little Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think he'd do with these
at Hogwarts?
With these Muggles?
They're not Muggles.
Well, these little half Muggles.
Those mudbloods?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that in the pod. We might have to delete that. I might get canceled for that. I don't know, dude. I think a one-on-one battle, you're looking at maybe a 51-49 edge on a wizard. But I think most other tactical situations, you're looking at Jedi's taking the cake. They got numbers. But
we're talking, the argument we ended up getting to top 7 on 7. Your 7 best versus our 7 best.
From how far of a distance? Are we talking like being in a football arena? Or are we talking about
is distance?
like Hunger Games where there's a big giant map and they're just trying to find each other slowly but surely?
We're fighting like it's like Voldemort when
no, we're meeting in the parking lot.
Yeah, like
Anchorman.
The end
in
battle.
The parking lot, I think the Jedis take it. They got the sword, so close contact, that's over.
So here's the thing with the Force. Once you're in the grasp of the Force, you can't cast a spell. So once I have you, and I bring you closer. Now we're getting into 2
different worlds. Like maybe they have like this spell out there.
What do you mean?
They can use like a charm of some sort that allows them to displace the Force. You know?
They've never seen the Force.
Yeah,
though.
they have alchemists out there. You go in, you played the video game. You know what it's like. You played the video game?
Mm-mm.
You go into the town, they got potions and potteries and all these different things to allow you to. You can be invisible if you want.
PEDs.
Yeah, they got PEDs. They got PEDs out there for the boys. So I'm sure these boys take a bunch of shit, stack up on a bunch of Austrian, they go out there and they play ball. You know?
The wizard wand gets real big.
They're not piss testing these guys before they're going to war. So I think you go out there to Hogsmeade. You go out to Hogsmeade, get some potions in you, get a couple of plants that bite, toss some things out there. Like you're even the area.
Couple plants that bite.
Yeah, there's like a chomping
cabbage.
Yeah, chomping cabbage. You know about that, Doc?
Whoa.
So now while you're all disconfigured, you're trying to fight this vegetable. You're getting done up by the wizards. 7-on-7, I think go to the Wizards. We got brooms.
It's good for the argument. Like it's good just to have the argument out there, but there's just no. We're talking about people flying on brooms. We're talking about kids, man. We're talking about kids.
There's way too many beards. There's way too many beards to just talk about kids.
Yeah, like
top 7's gonna be like 200 years old.
Who's Harry Potter's top 7 again? Harry Potter's top 7. Who's coming out of Hogwarts?
Voldemort.
Yeah, we heard Hermione dropped
Dumbledore.
Hermione, she's just a great student, but I don't know if she's got the street smarts to handle the game.
Y'all are so. Hermione is being so underutilized. Hermione is a genius, like a literal genius. You need her on the field, strategy, whatever it may be.
She's getting
putting her
dusted,
top
bro.
4.
I think she sits
she's
back.
not getting dusted.
She sits back in the command room and tells the boys what to do.
Yeah, you need a leader.
Yeah, you need a leader, absolutely. But what about Dumbledore?
Yeah, he's in there.
What about
Harry, Dumbledore, Voldemort, Sirius Black? I'd probably put Bellatrix the Strange in there. Snape.
Hermione.
No.
Ron's dead in his
I'm
second
putting Lucius Malfoy, Draco's father, in there. He's a demon.
He's like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like that. The Death Eaters don't fuck with them, I think. But again, our argument was getting rid of the universes. I don't really have a dog in this fight because I'm nervous. There's a lot of people in that Star Wars universe.
Who was your top 7, B?
You gotta go Yoda, Darth Vader, Lord Sidious, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, Rey. Yeah, Kylo Ren's. I mean, he was a beast.
Hot in here.
Yeah, Kylo Ren. I mean, that's 7 right there. I think you can substitute a lot. Like even the depth. Like I know we have a universe, but I'm talking the depth of the Force goes insane. Like we're not even talking. JP brought up a good one. Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon Jinn. He died to Darth Maul. Darth Maul is a bad motherfucker. Like there's just.
What are they bringing to the table? Are they allowed to bring their lightsabers and their wits about them? All their fingers, obviously, to do the thing.
Yeah. Do you guys get to bring your wands?
Yeah, no, the lightsaber,
to bring your wand
is
to
the
broom?
wand, right? Like those are the same. Then what about we got potions? We won't go invisible.
Dude, like it's
invisibility
the,
cloak.
It's the Force, man. It's the Force.
They can go, and then all of a sudden they're crouching down. They're walking around.
Like you are one with the universe.
Your universe.
The universe.
Where's the home field?
We can make it whatever planet it needs to be on.
Okay, make it at Hogwarts then. Make it at Hogwarts then. If it's at Hogwarts, it's over.
Yeah, the Pokemon level on Smash Brothers. Yeah.
Oh, Link's placed on Smash? Then they don't have a chance. It's too close quarters.
Bro, Han Solo, low key, would hold his own.
I don't know. Han Solo is a true human.
Yeah, I know that, but that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
that's a whole other level.
You're being disrespectful like that.
You're trying to disrespect him.
Yes.
Like I was good with this conversation until that comment came in.
There's no normal human in Harry Potter that could compete with Han Solo, and Han Solo can compete with.
Well, Hermione's a mudblood. She's part human.
Part human.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's over, man. Like, there's no shot. Like the Force is just a different animal. I get the potions, the learning
Isn't there only so many people that have the Force?
Yeah, we're talking about the chosen. The chosen.
Outside of that, though, it's kind of a bunch of just cons.
Yeah, we're talking about 7. If we're talking about the actual, if we're getting outside 7, now we're trying to bring in the universe. Like at the end of the day,
I don't have a dog in this fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say Star Wars has.
You keep saying that, but you started off with, "I don't have a dog in this fight because it's so obvious," and then you go, "I don't have a dog in this fight because I'm scared."
Yesterday it was like,
yeah, we were going toes.
Was it just you?
Mitch was there, but
Mitch.
Mitch went and did a video where he was getting choked out by the Force. So I don't know.
It was a funny ass video.
It was.
Because when you go universe, like at the end of the day, Star Wars has the Death Star, and that thing disintegrates any type of planet, whatever.
You have a Hagrid.
You have a Hagrid, and there's a little force field wall that goes over Hogwarts.
My argument from top to bottom before it was like who would win in a fight was that the cinematic universe of Harry Potter, to me, feels more authentic. Like there's like this storyline you grow up with through all the movies. That's why I was
the same storyline they piggyback from Star Wars.
No, Star Wars is literally based around Dune.
No, Star Wars is.
No, that is true.
I think that is true.
It is true.
I was trying to think of something else. Yeah. That's him saying that. I've never seen Dune. Yeah, I've never seen Dune, but knowing I saw that comment, I'm like, I have no clue. When did Dune come out?
The original Dune came out in like the early 80s, and then like the remake of the original Dune just came out 2 years ago. There's a new part.
How many Dunes are there?
There's only one right now out that is a remake of the old one, and now there's a part 2.
How many old ones were there?
Only one.
Oh, well, so yeah, Star Wars is.
It was just like the idea.
Star Wars created the blueprint for
the lightsaber.
No, for Harry Potter. Star Wars walked so Harry Potter could run. Fuck.
Yeah, that didn't help.
All right, bro. It's been a long week.
I know. Yeah,
it's been a long week. Your shirt looks phenomenal, by the way.
Thank you, man. Speaking of, go ahead.
What?
Our new merch is out.
Our new merch is out.
Our
You
new
guys can
dad
get
merch.
it here now, but this is that shit. I walked in the office today, saw Willie with that on. Makes your chest look incredible. Makes your arms look incredible.
Well, thank you.
And
man.
it's like just snug enough on the waist
Thank
to
you.
hide whatever you want to hide.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you need to hide anything.
And the hats are out that you guys have been asking about.
Shirts.
Yeah, a lot of new polos. You're obviously
Didn't Taylor put one on
I
live
could.
on camera.
I'm a little sweaty, but I could.
maybe change the shirt up. I think you're gonna look phenomenal in blue. You got those nice eyes.
Oh, it's got a cool little fabric to it.
Yeah, those things are fire. I think I'll be rocking that one a lot on the course.
If you guys are wondering, want to think about something that's coming up, mark your calendars. It's 137 days. 137 days till Spooktober. So, it's coming down the pipe, boys.
I think it's a big year. This is a big year for Spooktober. I think this is
gonna be the biggest year. For
this is the contract year for Spooktober. This is put up or shut up.
Do you think so?
I think so. I think the last couple of years they've been fun. They've been great, but they haven't
They've also been
touched.
the worst months of my life.
Yes, they haven't touched what it can be. You look nice, man.
Thanks, bro.
Yo, you do got that face sweat going on.
I'm hot, dude. I'm hot. I've been traveling. I've been moving.
Yeah, of course. Honored. You're a sweaty little boy.
No, I'm sweaty.
But all the new merch is out. Dad merch. Thinking about Father's Day. This is the drop that you guys want to shop for.
The drop.
The drop you want to shop for.
The drop you want a shot for.
A little bit of a bar.
What is Bussin with the boy stuff going on? We got merch going on. We have Spooktober to look forward to, and we got a Harry Potter and Hogwarts situation. Big stuff going on. Probably a little bit bigger than the next subject, but Pat McAfee is going to ESPN. Let's give a round of applause for Pat McAfee. Incredible. What a pivot from the man. Obviously left FanDuel.
Left FanDuel. Left a lot of money on the table.
Well, maybe not. Maybe he's getting more money. Who knows what's really going on?
True, but he signed a 4-year, $120 million deal.
You.
$30 million a year. Left
money.
in the middle of year 2 to go to pivot and go to ESPN. Probably DraftKings, I would assume. But who knows, bro? What do you make of the Pat McAfee show going to ESPN? There are clips. A lot of fans. It seems like they're divided. You got a lot of fans happy for the boys,
Right.
happy for the big W, happy for the big win. Another half that are mad and calling him a sellout
Because they're going corporate.
because they're going corporate. Because there's clips of McAfee back in the day saying they will fucking never go to a program like ESPN.
Yeah. Well, I think it goes back to what we talk about in this podcast. You can say whatever you want, and you're always available to change your opinion. Maybe there's some different stuff like that ESPN has allowed Pat McAfee to do that it will still keep the integrity of his show because I mean, everything Pat's done, it really seems like he's crushed.
Yeah.
And it's been like his way. So I think there's going to be no situation where he goes to ESPN and doesn't do his same exact thing. I thought he had a great video of them doing the announcement saying that, hey, this is changing, that's changing, then it's actually a lie. Nothing's changing.
Yeah, that was funny. Love that little.
I thought they did a great job of that.
Little
It's a great video. And he's got a great relationship with ESPN. Obviously, they did the mega cast for the playoffs, and then he's on, College Game Day every Saturday. So starting to do that one thing, it seems like it's a massive deal for the boy.
Yeah, I think it's a big jump for the boys.
Would love to see those numbers.
The rumor is Pat is getting $15 million a year annually from ESPN. That is the rumor right now.
Yeah.
15
mil.
And he's bringing all the boys with him. Like, look, at the end of the day, they saw an opportunity, and I know a lot of things are changing in Pat's life that probably all the videos he's posted talking about it, it seems like he sat with all the correct white collars and everything else of the world to make sure that they have creative control and creative direction. At the end of the day, ESPN has a massive platform. We're talking, what is it? What's their subscriber following on YouTube?
ESPN?
Yeah, ESPN. I think it's like 70. I'll pull this up here. 9.3 million. I'm gonna pull up this article. I was reading something earlier, boys, and I think this will be helpful.
Also, shout out to Stephen A. Smith for the classic, hands over the chin in their little their backdrop there. That's just a classic look.
So ESPN is in 74 million households. ESPN Plus, which his show will be on every day. Subscribers, 25.3 million subscribers. ESPN YouTube subscribers, as Jack just showed, 9.3 million. Twitter followers, 45.5 million. ESPN Instagram followers, 25 million. TikTok followers, 36 million. Obviously, Pat has a massive following himself. I think the numbers I was reading on this article, they total, well north of like 50 million. But with ESPN, he's going to a massive audience, a massive fan base, and he's going to be in front of everybody everywhere. We're talking bars, gyms. He's going to be in people's faces, in people's households every day, just like his show is. He's still going to have it on YouTube, and it sounds like they have creative control. And look, they might not be dropping fuck. They might not be dropping. Yeah, can't say fuck. The boys, they can't say fuck all the time.
But if it's one word that really throws you off as a fan, it's like, fuck you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the idea of, and you're right too, like everybody can have a change of heart, never be so committed to something that you won't change your mind. The boys saw something. Pat now has a new daughter with us. I was trying to think of.
Yeah, she's alive.
Yeah, she's alive. She's with us today. She's doing well. But it seems like a lot of stuff are changing in their world. And like Taylor was saying, he's on Game Day and he's on everything else in the ESPN universe. It sounds like there's a lot of infrastructure help that he's going to be getting with ESPN to where it takes a load off of his plate because he's running the business every day. He's hands on a lot over there at the Pat McAfee show with all the boys. And he got all the boys paid. I'm sure they got paid.
Yeah, they're going to have looking at 7 figures.
Yeah, man. And they're going to have access to that roster. Not that he didn't all the time, but he's going to be very well immersed into that universe.
He might be a couple of years the biggest name at ESPN. Might be close right now.
Yeah, he might be close right now. I mean, he's got to be one of the top dogs there immediately.
Brother.
He's always done stuff his way, man. Back to his high school story where he basically went and made $1,500 gambling and then spent that $1,500 to go to this camp, and then he earned a scholarship to West Virginia, became an All-American, goes to the NFL, does it his way in the NFL, surprisingly leaves after whatever year it was. He left millions on the table. He just got done being a Pro Bowl punter, did it his way, goes with Barstool, ends up not working out with the boys at Barstool. He's worked with these credible sources all the way up until this $120 million deal with FanDuel, and now the boy's pivoting, and he is on ESPN.
Yeah.
Which at one point in time, we were even when we started the podcast about, oh man, it'd be sick to make a good enough to where somebody maybe Barstool wants us, and we're like, no, fuck.
Yeah.
That changed up quick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's amazing the things that are happening too. It's like he's really just crushing the game, and the most impressive part is he's doing it his way. It seems like he's not doing anything that would take away from what his creativity is. Wow, that was tough to get out. Fuck.
We've had a couple.
It's been a long
daughter here with us today.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And again, they have creative control. So again, if you're sacrificing the F word, a few F bombs just to make a little bit more cash and make sure that structure's foundationally there day in and day out for your entire operation. I think that's a massive win, dude.
Yeah, one of the core beliefs of this show is not say the word fuck. So it's all good that you can't say fuck.
Yeah, it's all
You
good.
know?
All good if you can't say fuck.
Yeah. It's all right. We can say fuck.
Yeah, we can talk about sucking dick and stuff like that.
Yeah. They probably can't talk about sucking
You
dick.
probably can't talk about those hypotheticals anymore.
No. But that's not the premise of a show.
Yeah, and if they were happen to break up, if something were to happen to whatever, Pat and all of them get the show. Like they have the IP, they have the intellectual property.
They
have
said
the
that?
ownership. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't see a world where they wouldn't anyway.
Yeah. I mean, they've positioned themselves like at the end of the day, Pat McAfee and that crew, Pat is a pioneer and a trailblazer in this space of going from athlete to media and making it successful and showing guys along the way that it's possible to own your intellectual property, your creative control, and do it your way. Because again, Pat's alluded to it many times. The ESPNs of the world were people that wouldn't even entertain a conversation with him back in the day. Good thing he didn't harbor all that hate the entire time.
Yeah, well, maybe he did. And now
Maybe he did.
Yeah.
Now
I was allowing it to sneak out there a little bit.
Yeah. But I think a massive win for the boys over at the Pat McAfee show.
Massive win. And for all of them, too. They're all eating.
They are all eating.
That's amazing.
They are all eating. All the boys.
Yeah.
Seems like Pac-Man Jones jumped in at the right time.
Yeah.
The right time.
Kind of snuck in there, didn't he?
Yeah. He kind of just snuck in.
Yeah. Well, good for them, man. Good for them, for sure. Are their headquarters still going to be in Indianapolis? They got to move that,
I
right?
think so. I think they're staying there.
So essentially nothing's changing. They're just getting on more TVs.
Correct.
So what are we mad about, folks?
A lot of people, a lot of the core fan base is upset because in their,
OGs.
The OGs are saying he's selling out because there are clips and stuff of Pat saying we will fucking never be with ESPN.
Yeah. That was probably
program-
him harboring the anger.
Yeah. I mean, look, the tune can change, man.
No
Especially
question.
for the right price, the right resources, the right help.
And taking it to the next level, the question is from here on out, and we said this when he did with FanDuel, is what's the next level?
What is the next level?
I don't know. He's pinnacled multiple times. He's summited multiple mountains.
Yeah.
So it's like,
would
what
be
is
the
it?
next move?
I don't know.
You think you'll get a Disney movie?
McAfee does need a movie.
I'm sure he'll
At least
get
the
one
voice
one
of an
day.
animated character.
Yeah.
He made an appearance on the I was going to say San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers video. Him and AJ, they made a little appearance in an animated version of themselves. But Disney, bro, I mean, he could get himself a little movie.
That'd be sick. Would that pinnacle this? I mean, that would just be icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Like he's just setting up shop at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, at this point, he's at the top, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what else is there to even prove?
I don't
You
know.
did it your way. You held up the middle finger to anybody along the way that you wanted to by doing it your way. And then you're essentially, getting in bed with people that didn't want you at first.
Isn't that wild?
And now having them smile, wanting you at, hoisting you up at the upfronts, the Disney upfronts that he was at recently.
That's just crazy.
Now he's on stage.
On stage murdering it.
Does anybody feel like they share the opinion of the OG fans that feel like it's more of a sellout move?
I don't feel like it's a sellout move.
Or if you could speak from the perspective of it.
I'll speak from the perspective of it just because it feels like Pat has been leading this charge in new age media where it's like the anti-ESPN, where we're all kind of like paving our own lane and like how sports is broadcasted now. And Pat was definitely on the forefront of that. And so I can see where the resentment lies in his fan base, where it's like you were like paving this new lane to be the new sports media. And now you're giving power back to these old traditional systems of ESPN. And that to me, I'm not bothered by it at all, but it is like, damn, like we don't want ESPN to be winning, but we want Pat to be winning. So it's kind of a tough mix up.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Power back to this old system that we felt like we were conquering for a minute. Like we were becoming the new age media. So that to me is a little shaky, but I'm super happy for that whole crew. Shout out Foxy, our boy. He's getting that bag.
Yeah, the boy Foxy, all of them out there. Jack, you made a good point, man. Like, it's like you don't want ESPN to win, but you want Pat to win. I think that's like he is resetting the bar. Because if you're Pat, you're like, whatever that was, the friction that was thought of about not joining the machine, right? Whatever you were pioneering against, you did so well and you showed the success of it so well that now they they have to notice it. They have to notice you and even admit that this is the right way. And we'll bring you on board because we got the deep pockets to do
deep
so.
pockets to do it. But it also, yeah, that is it's almost like a tip of the cap to ESPN for understanding that mainstream media is dying.
It feels like
in a hurry.
A win for ESPN than it is for Pat, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Are you saying that? Are you saying it because of the fact that because Pat is the new media?
I think so because he had fuck you money, like the 4-year 120th FanDuel.
That's one sponsor.
That's one sponsor.
Right.
You can assume what 150 million plus, I guess, for that operation. Like if it's certain infrastructure help, you could almost think, okay, how can you source that out or bring somebody else in to help with doing those things? But yeah, I mean, I can see that a little bit. Like ESPN, it seems like a big win for ESPN too. Obviously, smart on them to identify that.
Yes.
Pat still gets to do it his way, but yeah, the big guy still figured it out. Like, okay, we still gotta, hey guys, this is it. Let's stop fucking around. Bring him in.
I'm anxious to see what those other mainstream media companies do now because this is gonna have success. Pat's gonna crush it on ESPN.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna murder it. In that roster,
the suit and tie, like all this buttoned up, like super business mainstream media is going down the drain in a hurry.
Yeah, they're bringing a lot
you got to bring in personality. You got to have fun. But the thing that Pat has a good time, but he's also extremely educational on what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They talk facts. They do it in a fun way where you feel like you're just hanging out with the boys.
Yeah. And again, Pat is a good personality. It does feel like they're getting those youthful personalities there. It's just like you hate to see the white collar side of it winning because there's a lot of good people, it seems like, over at ESPN.
Yeah. Agree.
I think along with that also is like, I think fans are scared that the show's going to change a little bit. Like that's going to go a little corporate because what made them so funny and so like relatable is they would just like shoot the shit and like talk about stuff that shouldn't be on TV. Now that they're like on ESPN, like they're going to have more regulations and everything, and that's going to go away.
But we don't know that.
But
it's
like,
not known. It seems like they have the creative control.
But to see what Mitch is saying, like you see that happening with who we're with, Barstool, with the whole Mitzi thing. Like there's once you join a corporate world, well, I mean it's a little different, but once you join the corporate world, there things have to happen because of the world you now live in. And so there's things that, whether McAfee likes it or not, whether he does it or not, and it's not going to change the integrity of the show, there are things he now has to stay away from.
Yeah.
He is not allowed to do X, Y, and Z. Fuck is a word.
And like they always...
Maybe though, I say the subtle difference there is Penn owns Barstool.
Yeah.
ESPN doesn't own McAfee. So if there's a disagreement, like Pat will never be. I think he was saying it today. Yeah, he'll throw up the deuces. He says he's very comfortable in the pocket, taking whatever throws or going at the show, and he'll stand in the pocket and make the best decision for the show.
Yeah,
I think that would it would just take away like the authenticity of the show, I guess, in a way.
Yeah,
where they can just kind of go down these little wormholes of just like, oh, we're gonna make fun of this guy for doing something that probably shouldn't be talked about on TV, whereas on YouTube they could do that. And now that they have like these regulations, they have to stay in these certain lanes. It's not going to allow them to.
Yeah.
And like when they go on those little tangents, that's normally when it's like the funniest parts. But now that they can't do that, I don't know. I think it's going to be a more buttoned up show, which obviously it has to be on ESPN, but I still think
but maybe not.
I think it's going to be great.
I'm sure it's going to have to be. Like even the tangents, they can do the tangents. They can go on that. If he has all creative control, owns everything. And I'm sure
they won his show because of what it is.
Pat he did his FanDuel deal. He didn't have an agent. He negotiated that deal and got out of that deal. I'm sure he probably negotiated this deal with ESPN. And if he did that.
Yeah, he said he represented himself.
Yeah, ESPN's probably a little nervous to say, hey, you can and cannot do these things.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably in there being like, this is what I'm going to do. This is how the show's going to go. And if they don't like it, he can just dip again and go wherever he wants.
Somebody as massive as like ESPN and let's just say Disney too, like, if you're bringing on something like that, I'm sure everybody at the highest of levels are combing through everything with this Pat McAfee show
the dollar figure.
Yeah, like to know what they're getting in bed with. It's like the draft, like any team that thumbs through absolutely everything on a player to know that they're going to make the right decision. I'm sure the same process happened with Pat. Like, at the end of the day, you know what you're getting. That's what you want to bring in.
Yeah.
Like, I guess if I were to play devil's advocate and go to your side, the only thing that maybe I would think is you're so conscious of it now that maybe you subconsciously button yourself up a little bit more. But as far as the show format and everything, the layout, the tangents and everything else, I don't see that going away. I just see the boys like maybe not saying fuck. And then moments that they do want to say it, they have a little bit around it.
Have a bit around it.
Don't say it.
Yep.
Don't say it. We know what you want to say.
Yeah,
Don't say it. Yeah.
I agree with you. Like they definitely like comb through everything. It's just
They'll come through everything.
I just don't. I don't want like ESPN
Welcome to
to
Bussin' with
like,
the Boys.
change it and everything for him. And like if say they get to that line, like is ESPN just going to drop him, or is Pat just going to be like?
He holds the power.
I think it's great,
and that's where it kind of goes back to what Jack's saying about the mainstream media winning. I think now that we're sitting here having this conversation on the bus, I don't think they won at all.
Well, they got him.
They got him, but I don't think they won.
They might have though because they made the correct move in getting him.
Yeah, strategically.
And a lot of people wanted him to.
For their business, they made the correct move, but
yeah,
they know that foundation, like Pat can do whatever he wants. Like we can't tell him what to do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think ESPN was sinking, and now they're not because
they laid off 700 people.
Yeah, like things are not going well at ESPN. The only reason it's successful is they have these long-term deals with the different leagues, and those deals are running out, and Pat is the one who's saving them. So when you hold the power in the name of Savior, you can kind of do what you want.
In the name of Savior.
Amen.
Hove.
Oh,
I love when Hove just comes in and drops one.
Absolutely, dude. Should we hit an ad? 14 seconds in.
Some Stella Blue coffee. Being a dad, Taylor, how essential is coffee?
Dude, being a dad and having coffee is the most essential thing in the world because when you wake up in the morning, it's been a long day. Maybe the kids have been up all night long. You don't know how you're going to get through the day. How are you going to get that workout to maybe take down that dad bod just a little bit more? Coffee is possibly the most essential thing you can have, dude. There's nothing better than having that first sip of coffee in the morning. It's like getting...
Tell us what it's like. Tell us what it's like having that first sip.
Dude, it's like getting your first kiss every single day, dude. Stella Blue Coffee supports pets, unlike big coffee. For every purchase, a portion of the proceeds goes directly towards helping homeless pets. And that's a big deal, dude. If you love coffee and your karma, why not have Blue Stella coffee?
And if you're not about helping dogs, dude, then fuck you.
Yeah, then don't watch this podcast. Fucking ridiculous. Anyway.
You can get yours tomorrow.
Oh.
It's available on StellaBlueCoffee.com and next day shipping on Amazon Prime. Get your coffee now before the boys sell out.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Oh, hey, listen, you can get those things.
Too, brother.
They're available in pods. You can get them ground and whole bean. Get yours today. They can barely keep the coffee in stock. That's how fast Stella Blue Coffee is selling. Go to StellaBlueCoffee.com. Use promo code BOYS for 10% off your next.
Spell that for him. Spell boys.
BOYS. You're going to use promo code BOYS for 10% off your next order. The perfect gift for Father's Day. We hate big coffee. You should too. Buy Stella Blue Coffee and support the boys. I thought it was going to rhyme at the end.
And the dogs. Support the dogs too.
Yeah, the dogs.
What else is going on out there? I thought that was a good conversation. That was fun, boys.
Yeah.
I appreciate your guys' perspective too, just because it is very divided. Like you see people, Twitter just runs it up in the comments, dude. A lot of good, funny, humorous stuff out there, but also like the boys are crushing it.
Do you think now this maybe opens a window for someone like Ryan Clark to bring the pivot under an ESPN umbrella?
I was thinking that too. Potentially, yeah.
Do they now just start bringing everybody under their umbrella?
Right. Like RC, we see he's with ESPN. We see what you guys are doing over at the pivot. Is there room for a conversation here? Because they do really well over at the pivot. I seems like a
rock
show.
on.
Yeah, they just had the fucking rock on. Massive. The white whale. I was jealous, I will say. And I did watch the episode and it was very good.
Did you get that information from me? I sent it to you.
Yeah.
He just texts back, fuck.
Yes.
He's so upset.
But they absolutely crush it. I do think that they have a show that would align in that universe.
Absolutely.
They have a stud producer in Alicia, who I know puts a lot of that show development together. And the boys, Fred, Channing, and Ryan, RC, they crush it with their guests. So it seems like that would be an alignment that could potentially make sense. Like if you're ESPN making moves like bringing in the Pat McAfee show, I don't see why a brand like the Pivot wouldn't be on their radar, especially because they got RC in house already.
Yeah, but if you're not ESPN and you see ESPN get Pat McAfee, you're Fox or you're these other companies, you're like, we got to go fucking get the Pivot.
Right, but they have the tie is Ryan Clark is exclusive to ESPN, so that would
those deals can be broken.
Yeah, very much so. But it's like that's where. If you hold the conversation about it for the right price, I mean, the pockets that Disney and ESPN and them got, like, they can do whatever they want.
Disney's in trouble too, though.
Yeah.
You see,
maybe it's the boys.
ESPN,
maybe it's
ESPN ate the Ocho. They're looking
for us. They're gonna have to bring those bags to get the boys though.
Yeah.
We're not going corporate for
We
fucking
ain't
anybody
fucking
unless the
going
price is right.
corporate nowhere.
Right.
You'll never see us on some
We
corporate.
will
fucking
never be
commercial
on
shit.
mainstream media unless they pay us.
Ever, unless they pay.
Yeah. Depends on how much they pay.
Yeah.
If they pay bags, then we'll absolutely.
Yeah. If it makes sense, we will leave.
Fucking Jelly Rolls on Joe Rogan podcast.
God, what a massive climb by Jelly Roll.
Dude, at one point when we first started this podcast, I was getting my truck done over at a place. I'm not going to say the name because no free shout outs. I was getting my truck done. They're like, hey, there's this guy named Jelly Roll who's a big fan of you guys who wants to go on your show. And he like showed me some songs. And it was back when Jelly was just rapping. I was like, oh yeah, man, for sure. In my head, I'm like, this guy, I don't even know who this is. Like talking about a white rapper from Nashville, Tennessee. Like I didn't know what to think of it. Jelly came on our podcast and obviously he's been a great friend of ours since then for a long fucking time. But in the last 18 months, this man has gotten so fucking famous.
Ever since he's been on Bussin with the Boys.
It's crazy. It's crazy to the point where you ask Jelly, hey, can you do something? And this is a compliment to Jelly. You would call Jelly and be like, hey, can you do something? I'll be there in 5 minutes. Now, he don't text you back all the time because that man's so busy.
Yes, bro.
And that's honestly a compliment because that man has just crushed it to be able to go on the #1 podcast in the world. What do you think ESPN would pay Joe Rogan?
The #1 podcast in the world.
In the
Not
world.
only that, he's going to perform in New York to do something for American Idol. He got how many awards? What is it? The Grammys, the Oscars? What is it?
CMAs.
The CMAs.
Yeah.
How many CMAs he get? 3?
Yeah, I think so.
3 of them biscuits could have got some Oscars. Damn. So close. Maybe next year.
And he's holding up like the losers, the misfits, we are winning. And dude, he is, man. I'm so fired up. He went on fucking Rogan.
I mean, when he's been on here, he's talked about how, not being accepted by the mainstream, by CMA. As soon as they let him in, look what's happened.
Taking over.
Taking over.
Literally the same thing as McAfee, right? Like not being accepted. Now all of a sudden he's taking over.
Yeah.
This is a Misfits podcast right now, dude.
There's power in numbers.
Power in numbers.
Power
Jelly
in
murder.
numbers,
Have you
dude.
guys watched the episode? You guys
I'm only 10 minutes into
Same.
it.
I'm about 10 minutes in as
Yeah.
well. And
I'm hoping to hear a little Bussin with the Boys.
I know. I was not for saying
It
We
was
get
a
one
little-
part talking about Kill Tony and the chemistry between him and someone else. Like, you know who else has got chemistry?
Yeah, dude.
Come on, Jelly, you know who's got chemistry?
He's like, man, I'd rather be on these pods, like stuff like that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, say
Do it.
Say
Do it.
Do it.
Man,
Oh,
fucking
I know.
just riding the coattails till we get there, boys. We will get on that fucking show eventually.
One day,
We
man.
got to.
One day. I'm just ready for that email, that text, something.
Yeah.
Would you guys be interested in going on Joe Rogan?
Excuse me?
Bro
Yeah,
Jogan?
that's the response. Excuse me? Don't ever ask that question again. When do we have to be there? But he did it, man. He's just crushing it. Oh, he's gonna do stadiums. I hope this man does fucking stadiums.
What's awesome is he will be on Bussin again soon, promoting, what does he have? A documentary going out on Hulu?
I think so.
Was that right, Hulu? Okay, thank God. And his wife, Bunny. I think they're both coming on. So we're going to get
Yes.
Jelly Roll back on the bus.
Got to get him back on the bus. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Would love to talk about experience with Joe, and then obviously what he's been doing as well.
God, he had to have been nervous, don't you think?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Got to.
They're all smoking weed on that thing too. Man, I don't know how you don't get paranoid as hell. All them people listening,
I know.
smoking a joint.
But that's Jelly. That's fucking Jelly.
That
Yeah.
is his realm, dude.
Now, if I was on Rogan and you just see me just smoke a joint, you're like, yeah, what is Will trying to do
Yeah.
right now?
If Will's ever on Joe Rogan and smokes a joint, just know that episode's ending in the next 15 minutes. Dude, you are fucking something else, man. Mouth wide open, dude. Driest mouth in the world.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
gotta love it though.
He's fucking killing it, dude. He's doing a great job.
There's headlines going around. People are speculating on Joe Burrow. Has he came out and talked about the contract situation? Is that why people are speculating on it?
I'm not sure. I know Gronk said something.
that's what it was.
Gronk said it on what show?
Uh,
No, what show, JP?
Gronk said it on somebody that actually recently has been interacting with me on Twitter. Her name's Kay Adams.
Yeah.
The Up and Adams show.
Okay.
Shout out Up and Adams.
We'll have to have Kay on someday too. Was she in our Tuesday 8 p.m. live?
She was not.
Oh, I thought you were saying last night she was. Like, you're like, how do we get Kay in here?
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
How do I get Kay in
Yeah.
here?
How do I
My
get
screen
Kay
always
in here?
freezes where it's like, it doesn't say, I don't see the comments or who's in it. I
Yeah.
thought she must have commented something. You were trying to get her in.
No, but she replied to us on Twitter after.
What'd you say?
Said, And then somebody did translate that in Google Translate,
Yeah.
and it said the translation was "I'm into you." That's just what the translation said.
Yeah.
You got to put these references on the screen right now too for people to see.
Yeah.
We gotta get her on next Tuesday. Next Tuesday we have to get her on
She
push-ups
said
with JP.
Yeah, she said to host, mediate.
She was down to do whatever. Host,
Water girl.
mediate, water girl. Which,
That's so funny, dude.
JP shot that shot. You got to
He's been
respect
shooting
the
that
game,
shot,
bro.
dude.
You got to respect
You gotta
it.
be exhausted. All them shots being shot.
dude, when you're chasing after something you're passionate about, you don't get tired.
You don't need an alarm clock.
But I guess, you got something, Jack?
I was just gonna ask y'all a question, just what we're talking about. Do you, if you're Joe Burrow, do you take this pay cut and be team centered and try and be a contender every year, or do you look out for number one and try and push Lamar and Jalen Hurts contract?
Question. When is Joe's deal up to make it seem like they're speculating? Next year?
Next year.
After
So
next
is
year?
he in his 5th year right now?
No, he's in his fourth. He's going into his fourth.
So they probably decided to pick up his 5th year option, I would assume. And people are,
Imagine if they didn't.
right, like not pick up his 5th year option.
Yeah.
I'm sure I mean, you can give us some context on this, like guys who get their 5th year option picked up. You were one, right?
Yeah, I got my 5th year option picked up.
But when you pick up the 5th year option, basically teams are, if you're somebody they want to keep you around long term, like yourself, like Joe Burrow, is basically they're wanting to pick up your 5th year option to start the negotiation process. Like, hey, we're going to pick this up, but we would like to start these conversations sooner rather than later.
5th year option is essentially just it has to get picked up in the offseason between your 3rd and 4th year by like May 7th, we'll say. And so when it's picked up, it's like, hey, we got you on contract for another year. Hopefully we can get something done before that. But knowing it's like keeping you away from free agency, because the closer you get to free agency, that's obviously where the bigger dollars are at.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think 5th year option is going to matter much for Joe, because he's going to get that deal done. He's not going to put himself in a Kirk Cousins situation where it's like, do we pay him? Do we franchise tag him? He's like top 3 quarterback in the league. So
Seems like he wants to stay in Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, if you were him, you'd want to too. He's got a fucking team around him. He's got a wide receiving core. His offensive line's gotten better in the offseason. Like, there's no reason why he wouldn't want to stay there. I think there's so many ways to get paid and also like be team friendly. Like, look at Mahomes' deal. That 10-year, $500 million. Like that was a team friendly deal.
Right.
And it was front loaded every single year, and he'd be paying for like only a couple million during the season. Like, they could easily do that for him. But very few guys in the NFL are able to be cake eaters. Joe is one of those guys that'll be able to do both.
Mm-hmm.
Team friendly, so the team can go out and get players and then go win a Super Bowl and also get as much money as everybody else in the market. So I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. I think him saying a team friendly deal is just, if he said that, it's probably just him trying to look good for everything else. Like, he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid so much money. And it's going to be, and the team knows he's going to be there for long term for the next 10 years. So there's really no reason why it wouldn't be a team friendly deal.
So Jack's pulling this stuff up. Essentially, they're talking about, it seems like a foregone conclusion that he will sign a long-term extension with the Bengals before Cincinnati kicks off the regular season against the Browns on September 10th. And he's talking about, Joe has said, I think there are a lot of different ways it can work out. We'll see how it all plays out. Right now, according to Spot Track, what is it? Spotrack? No disrespect to the boys at Spotrack. No free shout outs though. Also, it looks like the projected market is a 6-year deal that would pay him an average of $54 million per season. If you're in Joe's position, would you, essentially take like, what are we trying to say here? $45 million a year, so that way you can go out and get more players versus like a $54 million a year.
Higgins and Jamar, you can keep both of them as opposed to keeping one of them if he goes down to like 40 to 42 million, because they're both gonna have contract deals come up in the next 2 years, both of them.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What would you guys do? I think me personally, like if I happen to be Joe Burrow, and you were alluding to it earlier as well, like there's ways to do this. Like, he's gonna be a cake eater in Ohio. Like, if you're Joe Burrow, like, be with Cincinnati the entirety of your career. Maybe sign a deal like Patrick Mahomes. Like, take less money because you're gonna make like $40 million a year. I know you can make 54. Like, it's always like, get as much as you can, get every dollar you can, because the NFL is like your career could end tomorrow type of thing. Like, it's always like the small man versus the big man. But when you're in a position like Joe Burrow, it's like money is never gonna be an issue forever. And you're gonna have the key. You have the keys to the city. Like, if you're somebody who values like the championships and everything else. I'm not saying players don't do that, but you know, like money's never going to be an issue ever. Like fuck you, money's never going to be an issue. And being in the state of Ohio, it's like take whatever. Like, hey, how can we get a championship team surrounding us, surrounding me? Like, I'll do whatever I need to do. Like, what would you guys do?
I think Joe Cool seems like that kind of guy, being from Ohio, going to Ohio State and then having to leave and then getting drafted to the Bengals. He seems like the guy that's going to, take the state like of Ohio and wear it with pride.
Yeah.
And just kind of ride it till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
He's not a me guy.
I guess the question is, how do you want
He can
to
do both.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. He can do both.
He won't have to worry about it.
Year. He can get it if he wanted it and still be team friendly.
Yeah.
How's that? How so?
Pat Mahomes signed so instead of
over
a
like
$500 million deal. Yeah, over 6-year deal. You just make it a longer deal. You can keep that number in there and then bigger signing bonus. And then every year, do a restructure where you restructure $30 million of those dollars into a signing bonus. And then he plays for 20 or 24. And now you've got all the money in the world to go pay those other guys.
So like in that sense of like the way Brady was doing in New England, like every year you're working with the team, like basically in the office, okay, how can we restructure my deal to help you guys
and you're
out?
making more money every year.
Yeah.
But you're also like doing it in a way because the team, like Joe Burrow for the Cincinnati Bengals has made the value of that team 10 times. Skyrocket. So
He's him.
He is him. He really is him. And you got Jamar Chase and those guys coming up. What he needs to do is have those conversations with Jamar Chase and them, being like, listen, if I take a team-friendly deal, like I'm expecting you guys to also take that deal because Jamar Chase is going to be the number one paid receiver when he's up too.
Yeah, I think where
stays healthy.
I think where it's slightly different is knowing that Joe B's the quarterback. Like the franchise truly will stare at you like, hey, you are exactly who we want to build around.
Yeah.
It's like if a quarterback, it's like if Joe were to do that and knowing that you're coming up like, hey, I'm taking a team friendly, I'm going to need you to. Like, I think the longevity and the way an offensive lineman and basically every other position has to look at their careers a little bit differently than if you're a quarterback sitting in the fucking throne. You know what I mean?
I agree with that 100%.
It's like, hey, like Joe, I feel you. I appreciate you taking the team friendly, but you almost want to take a team friendly just so Cincinnati can do whatever it takes to retain those guys.
Right.
Because they are big time assets. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like if I'm the quarterback and I think I'm like, hey, I took one, like I'm going to need you to kind of shave the top a little bit for you. You're like, I mean, fuck, man. You're like,
you're Joe Burrow.
You're like, yeah, you're Joe Burrow.
Your endorsements are going to be more than I'm making. He's going to make $10 million a year in endorsements.
Yeah.
But if Joe is taking a team friendly, why would Jamar have to take some off the top?
I guess you're just thinking about keeping everybody or
keeping everybody and acquiring new assets.
Yeah.
To win a Super Bowl. Because you want.
Yeah.
They got a team now, but they haven't gone over the hump of the AFC Championship.
I know. That AFC is crazy. I mean, it's fucking NFL is crazy, but it seems like the AFC is just deep and has all of the quarterbacks.
Mahomes, Burrow, Allen. It's just crazy.
Who's old boy with the Chargers?
Herbert.
Your boy Justin Lawrence.
JL, bro.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
I'm not. Jury's still out on him.
Will Levis.
Well, have you seen a couple of the throws that Titans put out on Twitter?
He's throwing like Aaron Rodgers.
What do you think?
He's throwing like
Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers. I think it's a Fugazi right now. I think that's all fucking show. Like you see him like in the pocket and they're doing 7-7. He rolls out, turns his back towards the line of scrimmage and tosses it over. And then 83, whoever the fuck that guy is, makes a nice little catch.
We need to know that guy's
puts
name.
it right in the basket. You look at that and you go, oh fuck yeah, dude, we're so in.
One of the Twitter comments under that video was like, there was no one blitzing. Why was he scrambling?
Yeah, exactly. They're probably on the back going, run.
Brave. They need to like plan and draw up a play that just makes it look insane and just let them clip it just so they control everybody.
Go and clip that.
Yeah.
Looks back at AP and the boys.
He could be the second coming of Aaron Rodgers. That's just what people are saying.
He could be. I hope he is.
Yeah.
I hope he is. But OTA's practice, brother. It's OTA's practice.
Yes.
Like who fucking knows what's really going to happen there? Because I do not.
I had a thought earlier on it was Gronk. Because Gronk was saying how Tom was taking, now you know Gronk, where he can fluff any conversation. But he's like, Tom was taking like 50% pay cuts. Like maybe Joe doesn't take that much, but he takes a little bit. But I just thought it was funny how he's basically saying like, Tom basically played for minimum.
Yeah, making 20 a year.
That was my thought.
Tom was he was like the not even top 5 paid quarterbacks for the longest time. But
he had that Giselle money in there. And that man's just building asset after asset. Like he's got his clothing brand, which he did send us. We got the box. The Brady brand is here.
But at what cost?
I know.
The Brady brand sent us stuff, and then Michigan season D's us on our Michigan.
Yeah.
stuff.
We thought we were up to something sweet, dude.
Up to something sweet, and then there's always another hurdle to get over.
Yeah.
Michigan,
bro.
you guys got to let us do shit, man. Come on.
That was a tough moment. Like, hey, guys.
Speaking of tough moments, I saw you go through a big fucking tough moment on Monday with what's his name committing to Georgia.
Oh yeah.
I thought right then and there Nebraska's dead. You guys went from 6-6 to 5-7.
Look, it ain't over. Well, what's a commitment even mean these days? What's a commitment mean these days until they're signing on campus?
Gotta get him back. Gotta get him back.
You gotta get him back.
Get him back for the Bussin Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna say a whole lot yet. I don't want to put negative energy out there because I do think we still have a shot. You never know. But that was a massive hit. When he goes quarterback Dominic Raiola, Dylan. Dominic is his dad. Yeah. Dylan Raiola, I thought for sure he was about to say, like,
University of Nebraska.
Yeah. But then I should have known.
It's a good thing that he's with Georgia right now. He's going to take it. The headlines are there. It's going to make it so much better when he decommits and goes to Nebraska.
No doubt. Like, if you want to be the number one player and go to the best team in college football, like, what's that say?
Yeah. Big fish, big pond?
Yeah.
Get yourself a big fish in a small pond, bro. Start eating them little bluegills.
Be a legend.
Be a
legend at a place like Nebraska.
God. You just be another one at Georgia.
Yeah. You'll just be like, what was the quote? Like, you want a natty? Sweet. Who hasn't?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to bring a program back to prominence? Welcome to Nebraska.
It would be a nice little change up as if you went to Michigan. Be cool, right?
That would.
Man, if you would have said Michigan instead of Georgia,
drop to my knees, bro.
God,
just look up to the sky.
Just dub after dub, man. Yeah, it's gonna be years before Michigan beats or loses to Nebraska. Years.
I don't know. It could be this year. It could be. People are saying upset alert.
I got my squad back there. They know anyone who puts on the red during the Bussin Bowl knows too. They're just dying with you because you need somebody.
Who's your squad?
Who was it last year? It was JP, Jack, Garrett. Were you?
I am not on your squad this year.
What's that?
I'm not on your
I heard
squad
you the
this
first
year.
time, JP. We don't fucking need you.
And guess
We
what?
don't fucking need you.
I'm gonna say it again. I'm not on your squad. I don't care if you want to hear it or not.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not on your
Do me a
squad.
favor, don't come on the show next week. All right, I appreciate it. We'll grab lunch later. See you.
On to the next.
On to the next. All right, I know who I got. I got everybody else back there.
Do you?
I'm looking at you, Mitch.
He was the one guy with me on Nebraska.
Yeah, but what happened? You failed miserably, brother. So why not join some winners?
Jack, whose team you on?
You already know.
I know.
I'm on the team forever's at the rail on Saturday night in Lincoln, Nebraska. That's my squad right there.
All right, G, I got you. I know that, right, G? Yeah, got you, right, brother?
I mean,
Jack's loyalty belongs to the streets of Lincoln.
I used to have a little bit of a tie to the blue, but our boy doesn't work there anymore.
He doesn't?
No.
What happened?
Position at Purdue. He's the second.
Yeah, now he's the number 2 at Purdue.
Nice.
So
Got him.
Got those motherfuckers, dude.
Dude, Purdue sucks.
you'll have to find out on game day.
You know what,
We'll
dude?
do another
It is
reveal.
up in the air.
There's one thing you can always count on. That's Duke Cannon, dude. Warmer weather is here and things are
not for
heating up for the
clowns.
boys. It's not for clowns. But guess what? We're not sweating it on the bus, even though I was just profusely sweating. Why? Because Duke Cannon has our backs, our pits covered. If you need to upgrade your grooming routine or restock your favorites, Duke Cannon has everything you need for antiperspirants and deodorants, the thick body wash, and their big ass bricks of soap. Are you leaving?
Yeah, I thought about
Had a 360 for the camera.
I thought about farting on the mic, but
Don't fart. Yeah, the pink eye.
responses from that.
Bibble. Dude, Will's got that acorn bladder, dude. He's got to pee every 15 fucking minutes. Yeah. So anyway, big ass bricks of soap, dude. You put that in a little pouch, you fucking get that thing squeegeed up, get the suds going. It feels amazing on your skin, and it's amazing. And then the cool dry as well is my obviously go-to pickup. You can pick up these hardworking products at DukeCannon.com and use code BUSSIN10. That's BUSSIN10 for 10% off your order. You can pick up. I appreciate you, dude. What is with the description link being down there?
I don't know.
That's fucking.
They're trying to test us.
That is not cool. That is not cool of them to do. But yeah, dude.
While Will's gone, do you want to talk about your trip,
A Cabo experience?
Jeff? Not Jeff. Bill.
Oh yeah, so Will and I were flying from New York to Nashville about 6 months ago, and I was on a connecting flight from Chicago to Nashville. We went from New York, Chicago, Nashville. And on this flight, I'm sitting in the aisle seat, and the guy next to me is also sitting in the aisle seat. I'm not going to say his name. We ended up talking. He does a lot of entrepreneurial stuff, works with guys like Tony Robbins and allegedly Mark Wahlberg, allegedly, and Pitbull, allegedly. So after the flight, he's like, "Hey, can I get your number?" Usually, I don't like giving out my number to people because I don't know the credibility or just I don't like giving out my number anyway. So like a few months goes by, and this guy's like, "Hey, this guy named Kyle is having a birthday party in Cabo. He's spending 7 figures on his birthday. You should come. You should meet these guys. It'll be a great networking opportunity for you." So I decide that I'm not going to go. I've been traveling a whole bunch. Spring tour just finished. I need some time with my family and stuff like that. I tell my wife looks at me like I'm a fucking idiot and goes, "You need to go on this trip. Go get coffee with this guy." So I go sit down with the individual. We have coffee at the Well by Lipscomb. And he's like, "Hey, this is going to be a wild event. There's going to be people here that from a networking standpoint that are like, we're talking about 3 commas in the bank account type guys." So he's like, "You need to go." So I essentially went on a blind date for 48 hours to Cabo San Lucas. Stayed at the Cape, beautiful place. Nice little hotel. They had a nice little infinity pool looking over the ocean. It was cool. And I got to meet these guys that are just well-rounded dudes, like down-to-earth guys that also do really well in business. So had the opportunity to meet with them, and hopefully, if something happens in the future with them, we'll see where that goes. But I end up going to this birthday party. It ends up not being Kyle's birthday party. It ends up being his brother Kevin's birthday party. Now, the family is the Washington family. If you want to go and look them up, Kyle Washington,
George Washington,
and Kevin Washington. No, I don't think there's any relation to George Washington. There is
the Washington family.
What I'm told is that this birthday party was anywhere between $2.5 and $5 million. There's an area in Cabo called Chileno Bay. On one side near the water, there's a bunch of nice restaurants, like clubs and hotels. And on the other side of the highway is desert for forever. Now, they decided to make a party in this desert. I walked in, they imported grass. There's grass imported. There was a drone show, which I'll give you guys clips of this show. It was incredible. This guy, Kevin, owns the most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex in the world.
What?
Yes. So like the drone show was like, it was like drones doing this cool shit. Then all of a sudden they made a figure of a T-Rex. Then out of the T-Rex came a $sign, and the T-Rex eats the $sign. It was crazy.
Oh, I thought we were talking about like bones.
No,
like a display of a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
No. That's what he owns that.
Like Jurassic Park, like
a real Tyrannosaurus Rex, a real dinosaur, the bones put together. He owns the most complete one in the world. They have
that's insane.
They have like the second largest Bitcoin mining company in the entire world. Like it was crazy. You're sitting there, and so I'm walking, but it was a cool party. Probably 300 people there at this party, and there were some big fucking names there. But it was very LA.
How big? Name drop.
Guy named Bill Gates. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He was at that party.
Billy G?
Billy G was at that party. Went up to him, shook his hand.
Did you ask if his real name's William?
No, I didn't ask him that. I literally shook his hand, said hello, my name's Taylor, and I walked away because
Bussin' with the boys.
He scares me a little bit. He's too rich. And then I go towards the back right corner. There's like a little bar setup area, and let's call a spade a spade. There were some beautiful, beautiful people at this party. And I'm like, when we're out, I'm out there socializing, going around, talking to a bunch of people, a group of people. And I would literally go up to these people and be like, "Hey, what's up? Where are you guys from?" And the cold shoulders you would get. Like,
really?
It was very LA. It was very like, if we don't know exactly who you are, we don't want to talk to you. And I was like, man, it wasn't necessarily for me. But go to the bar and I see this figure that's like as tall, a little bit shorter than me, but like his head sticking out like my head sticking out. And I look over. Vince Vaughn. Vince fucking Vaughn is at this party, and I think to myself, do I fucking even say anything to this man?
Please tell me he's coming on Bussin'.
So I look over, I grab a drink at the bar, and I look over. There's like 15 people talking to Vince, and like it's not like 15 people are talking with Vince. People are all sitting there waiting for their opportunity to talk to Vince. Like he's standing here, they're all kind of horseshoed around him, looking at him, looking for the next available chance to say a word to him. So I think to myself, there's no way I'm getting into that mix. Like if an opportunity comes up, it comes up. I get to there. I'm at the party at like 10:30. It's like 12:15. I'm like, I need to go home. I'm going to get in a flight in the morning. I have to go to Arizona for a couple of meetings. So I go wait, and the people are like, hey, car's gonna take about 15 minutes. And it's fuming in the back of my head, like, fuck. Vince Vaughn, like, and I've been around him one time before. The Preds were playing the Blackhawks, and he was at the arena, and I was with some guy from CA, and he was walking by as I was walking by, and I looked over, I was like, that's fucking Vince Vaughn. He's like, do you want to meet him? And I said, no. I don't want to impose and be like that fucking guy. But here I am sitting here waiting for this bus.
In line.
I'm like, man, fuck this. So I walk back. He ends up being with like three other guys. One guy's a guy that I met. He and I were talking during the little drone show, and he was actually enjoyable to be around. So I walk up, and that's kind of like my way in. I put my hand on the guy's shoulder. I was like, hey, brother, blah, blah, blah. Like, kind of picked up where we left off in the last conversation. I look up, I see Vince Vaughn. I go, hey, man, I want to let you know, my name's Taylor. I'm a big fan of you. I've been watching you my whole life. I love what you do. He looks me right in the eyes, and he goes, hey, man, it's really nice to meet you. As soon as our hands leave each other, his two boys on the left and right of him, no joke, turn their backs to me, put their shoulders together, and escort him away from me. It was the weirdest, most uncomfortable experience ever. I was like, yo, I just, all right.
Next time.
I guess I'll go then. I didn't say nothing else, so I went back to the bus, and I was fucking rattled by it. I was like, what is that about, dude? What was that? And I texted you the next morning, and I was like, weirdest experience of my life.
I said, I can't wait to hear.
And here we are.
I know. That is tough, man. Like,
it was a weird deal. Like what? He didn't do nothing. He was nice.
I think his boys, like, you know, you talked about all those people horseshoed around him. Like, I'm sure that's Vince Vaughn's life everywhere. Like a lot of those A-listers.
Got to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not willing to allow my hero to.
Yeah. Like maybe Vince fucks with it, right? But maybe his boys, like, they might have no clue, and they just hear somebody who's watched him his whole life, he's probably loves him. Like, this is the drill that Vince we've all talked about.
Yeah. I was big time. But I'm going to say by his boys, not by him. And one thing too, when I was at the bar, I looked at him and he was looking at me. And there was a couple times where, like, I would look over and he was looking. And I'm like, are we boys?
We trying to talk?
You trying to hang out? Because I'm trying to hang out, brother. I'm trying to be boys with you.
I almost wonder if you took a Steve Byrne angle, like, if that would have worked.
I know, but you know, name dropping's tough. I should have.
Yeah, but Steve's like,
obviously doing whatever.
Steve, like, they're like really good friends. Like, if somebody was talking to me and I had no clue who they were and they brought you up, like, there's such a common friend there because you're my boy.
Maybe.
Where it's like, oh, you know Taylor, you know JP or something like that, and you're like almost ready to hit it off about something else. Sorry, JP's who I looked at. Like, I've had people come up,
right?
Like, where you call, you know, I've had like randoms come up before, and then they say one of your guys' names, like, oh, I'm boys with Mitch, or, you know, when your family came up and you don't know who they are, and they're like, oh, I'm Mitch's so and so. And then you're just like, oh, shit, nice to meet you.
Guard goes down a little bit.
Yeah, guard goes down. You're like, okay, we have a really good friend in common.
Yeah, dude, it was a tough ally tug.
Good friend part.
But I gotta call Steve. I gotta call Steve and figure out that situation, because I'm not. And the thing is, the guy's a sports fan. He's a massive sports fan. He's a regular guy, allegedly.
Yeah, they have that media company, right? I believe so. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I just went in there unprepared. You know, victorious Warriors win.
It sounds like you said a good line. You were complimentive.
Yeah, complimentive, shook his hand, but it just took
his craft.
It took such a weird turn in such a fast way. There was really no way for me to get back out of it.
Yeah,
it was like, hey, you gotta.
I can see your head just probably gets in a blender.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck, I just gotta go. And I came back and they're like, you just missed the bus. It's 15 more minutes. So I had to sit there and wait for another fucking bus to leave, dude. Get back at like 1 o'clock. Sad. Went to sleep. Fucking
Taylor was on that weather app the whole night.
Yeah.
At the party.
Bro, it was kind of like that.
It's gonna be in the 60s next week.
It was kind of like that.
Who else? So Bill Gates, Vince Vaughn.
Bill Gates, Vince Vaughn were the only two that I really recognized. Kyle, the guy that I was initially going to meet, he's a cool guy. He'll be out here in August for like some sort of race, not NASCAR, but a different race. He's like big into cars and motorcycles and all that. So we had a good conversation. Good dudes.
Was Will Smith there?
Out there? Will Smith was not there.
John Legend?
If they were there, I would tell you.
I'm just trying to jog
the old memory.
Yeah, jog the memory a little bit.
Yeah, but it was a cool experience to see. But it was very LA.
Elon Musk?
Musk wasn't there. Musk was there like a night later. You see, he was in Cabo.
Uh-uh.
He was at a club doing the fucking Donald Trump. fucking dance move in Cabo. But yeah, dude, Cabo San Lucas, most beautiful place in the world. It was awesome.
He had some good photos.
Yeah,
It
the
was
pictures
nice.
you put on Twitter were
Does his breakfast in the morning, sitting there. God, I love Cabo so much. I go back right now.
So rate the trip. Rate the trip for us.
Good group of guys that I was with for most of the time. Had a lot of fun with them. A lot of insight into a different world that I've never seen before. Obviously, the party was very cool, but very LA, very standoffish people there. Obviously, the Vince Vaughn thing was just a nuclear disaster in my own head. I'd give it a 4.5.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
Sounds like the right rating.
it is tough, man.
Did you tell the boys about the whole Vince Vaughn? Like the crew that you were with? Were you guys like, yeah, I got to tell you this story?
No, so what happened was the guy that I was with originally, he and I were leaving together, and I was like, I got to go fucking do this one thing real quick. So I walked away. The Vince Vaughn thing happened to me, and I turned and looked, and they were all kind of waiting for me. Like, did you get it done? Did you meet your hero? And I was like, let's go home. Let's fucking go home, boys. It was tough. It was tough sledding out there. We're going to be all right.
Yeah.
We're always going to be all right.
Always going to be all right. You still got the Vince Vaughn vibes. Just because you got big time don't mean you ain't got the Vince
No,
Vaughn
I watched
vibes
The Dilemma
anymore.
last night. I thought, brother, it could have been us.
Yeah. You're just looking for conversations like,
Yeah.
man, what keeps him engaged?
What keeps him engaged?
You're watching film on Vince
Yeah.
Vaughn.
All right. So this is what he likes.
Yeah.
Doesn't like when his friends get cheated on. Got that. All right. Move on. But yeah, man, that was essentially it. That was the whole entire thing. Should we do tier talk?
What kind of tier talk do we have this week? Should we do an ad?
The last ad?
Should we pay the electric bill? Let's pay the electric bill with more labs. I don't know about you boys, but I can't drink near as much as I could in college without feeling like shit. Even just a few drinks these days has me feeling like shit in a world where we're being pulled in 1,000 different directions. You can't afford to miss a day. More Labs created a nifty, life-saving drink called Morning Recovery that helps prevent rough mornings after drinking. Similar drinks have existed in Korea for a long time. But there were no options like it in the US that worked. So their founder quit his job at Tesla. I shit you not, at Tesla. Quit his job to fix that and create a morning recovery drink called just that, Morning Recovery. It's super simple. All you have to do is drink one Morning Recovery while you drink or before you go to bed. It contains super herbs. We're talking Korean super herbs, vitamins and minerals that help you bounce back. After that night in the streets at the rail, and a proprietary blend of electrolytes that rehydrate you. You guys have heard of electrolytes. They're really, really good for your body. So you can have fun at night and feel good the next day like a real human, like you did when you were 21. They conducted a clinical study, get this, boys, and users of Morning Recovery felt up to 80% better than those without Morning Recovery across various symptoms after drinking. Go to morelabs.com. That's morelabs.com and use code BOYS, BOYS, for 20% off your first order of Morning Recovery. Yeah, we can get some Morning Recovery, boys. You about to go off are you about to go on a bender soon? Yeah, this weekend?
we got to test the product.
Like, let's see how hard we really can go. Up to 80%? We need to have them packed for when we go on our trips. Like spring tour or something. Be a good one there. Yeah, fall tour maybe.
Next week.
More labs, get on board. Yeah, what kind of, should we do shout out, no free shout out?
I'm down.
We do pet peeve, another pet peeve if we want. We do whatever we fucking want to, boys. We ain't owned by ESPN.
Yeah, we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want,
Let's
bro.
do you guys already do pet peeve of the week on Monday?
We did, but we can do it again if you got one.
I got one.
You want to do shout out, no free shout out? You want to do pet peeve?
I'll do
What
pet peeve.
vibe you feeling?
I'm feeling pet peeve of the week right now.
Okay.
After my story.
Okay. Do you want to start it off?
What's that?
The pet peeve?
Yeah, my pet peeve of the week goes to individuals that think they're better than you. All right. And you fucking go up, shake somebody's hand, and introduce yourself to somebody. Let's have a conversation, dude. Let's take 3 to 4 minutes and enjoy that whole thing. You don't got to walk away. Get shepherded away from me. Not saying any individuals. I'm just saying sometimes if that ever happens to you, that's my pet peeve.
You open the door now, like anybody who comes up and wants to shake your
Fall to
hand.
her. Remember this clip.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I like to change my pet peeve of the week.
Think about, there was a couple times in that spring tour where we're like, hey, we gotta figure this
Yeah,
out.
but I was still very nice to everybody, and then I booked it. Second there was an opening.
Yeah, but it seems like
Fucking Jake's. Crazy, dude. It was just,
Jakes.
South Carolina.
it was worse in the fall.
Yeah.
There was that one guy in the fall, but there was a lot of
guys,
those one guy.
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado, man.
I don't know what happened with you guys there.
After the
I felt like the
show,
whole squad, I felt like we were all separated the entirety of the
Yeah.
time.
usually we all like to stick together a little bit, have a couple drinks, and enjoy each other's
Yeah.
company. Like, hey, good show. What could we do better? We went upstairs, had that conversation, came downstairs. They divided and conquered us quick.
Yeah.
I was by
Anytime I made
myself for 3 hours. It seemed
Yeah.
like.
Anytime I made my way to even one of you guys, I would seek one of you guys out, get over there, and then some form of fashion, there'd be separation. And again, like,
I want to retract my pet peeve of the week. I'm retracted. It's retracted now. Doesn't count anymore. I don't have a pet peeve of the week.
I'm sure there's something in there.
Yeah, probably.
Pet peeve, when you feel like you have to change your fucking mind on something.
I don't know if it's a pet. Like it's a pet peeve. I had that video go out of that person not turning left in that BMW, and I didn't look at all the comments because there were so many comments. But the people that still don't understand to get into the middle to turn left, that were truly trying to fight that, like, I guess my pet peeve goes to dying on a hill not worth dying on. You know, like, listen, just take a fucking left. You get out there. Well, what if there's an ambulance and all that? Well, fucking those cars will stop and you quickly get out of the way. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So just don't die on a hill you need to die on. Just take the fucking left.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good wording.
Thanks,
I was like, is he gonna do the turning left at the stoplight
No.
again?
The same one.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
a
people-
big one,
people that
though.
don't
That is
get
a
it.
big one, dude.
Yeah, because I was seeing some of the comments too, and I'm like, people just don't fucking get it. People just don't get it.
Yeah. Too many comments.
Gee, you got a pet peeve? Just get some shit off your chest, man. My pet peeve, and honestly, it's my own self. It's my own doing. But anytime I fucking misplace my keys or my wallet or fucking forget to take out the trash or something, and I just verbally assault myself mentally. But I get so fucking mad when I misplace something. And so that's my pet peeve. My pet peeve is I guess myself. But it's like when I forget to do things or misplace something, I get so mad at myself. And I feel like that level of negative energy that goes on internally, qualifies for a pet peeve.
I could piggyback off of that. I don't know if it's a pet peeve, but along the lines of something that I do to myself that, then causes, like that frustration, like whether it's like, I just like lollygag instead of getting to A to B. Like if I wake up and like,
Procrastinate.
yeah, but it's not even like that. It's just kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it, but an example would be waking up and then not being efficient with my time. And then kind of like your tweet the other day, wishing you could get that time
Oh,
back.
yeah, dude, that was a nice little quote I saw. I was like, what is it? Lose an hour in the morning, spend the rest of the day thinking about it?
Yeah. So I guess
Fuck,
like,
that's so right.
I don't know if that is a pet peeve, but that would be along those lines of like something that I need to
Pet
work
peeve.
on.
It's a pet peeve.
Yeah.
It's a pet peeve. Nothing wrong with sticking that hand up. Like, yo, I fucking hate myself when I do this. I love a good verbal assault. JP, what
Sometimes
do you got?
deserve it, man. Sometimes you gotta give it to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. My pet peeve of the week, part 2, is adults that don't know how to use silverware properly. I can't stand when I'm seeing an adult cutting their steak and they're holding their fork like this and they're cutting it in front of the fork instead of behind it. And I just wonder, like, how did you grow up? How did nobody ever stop you? Who are your friends? And why do you just continue to let this go on?
Yo, I don't think I've ever seen somebody cut in front of the fork.
Or even maybe sometimes it's not in front of the fork, but I guess holding the fork like this, I see amongst some people around my age, and I'm like,
Like, turn it down like that.
just hold it like a caveman. Like,
Oh yeah, you gotta hold like this.
yeah, exactly. It's not
Put
hard.
your
Like,
finger.
What is it?
behind
What
that
is it in front of the fork? Is this in front of the fork or is this?
yeah.
Because if I hold the fork like this and it's like swooped down like that,
So
I'm
like
cutting like this
Behind the fork.
on the back side of the fork. I'm with that 100% because I was thinking, man, maybe I am one of those people. But crisis averted.
yeah, that's mine.
Solid one. I have one on silverware, but I'll save it.
I know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I do that to you the other day? And you're like, hey, do you do that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mine's also self-inflicted, but it happened to me last night. It's when you get all of your belongings, you go upstairs and you're ready to close the door and you're not coming back out till the morning, and then you realize that you left laundry in either the washer or the dryer.
Oh, that happened with me too, bro.
It's
Washer.
really bad if you leave it in the washer. That's happened to me last night. I realized I left it in the washer and hadn't dried it yet. So I had to go down, and now I'm like, now I have to wait up for another like hour and 20 minutes, then go back down, then fold it. So obviously I just left it in the dryer until this morning. But
Oh, I do that all the time.
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
fair game.
that when
The
you're
dryer
just,
means execution.
when you're ready to just retire to your chambers, and then you realize, fuck, I've got to walk back
Used to
downstairs again.
chambers.
Just it hurts.
Hey, that's a good one. It was either yesterday or the day before. I was going to go from the washer. I put it all in the washer before I went to work out. I was like, oh, when I get back, I'm going to put it in the dryer and I'm literally going to execute this thing to perfection. Forgot to move it to the dryer and left it in the washer all day long. So then you get to the point like, damn, I'm going to have to rewash these again. And then I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to, forget again. Because I don't do the whole, okay, now I got to stay up an hour and a half. If I'm like, okay, I'm about to take this L, I'll let it sit there again for a whole nother day and then I'll reset tomorrow. GBOT tomorrow morning. First thing in the morning, GBOT. Mitch, what do you got?
My pet peeve of the week goes to, it happens every time I get in my car. I plug my phone in to like start playing some music or something, and then it goes straight to Apple Music.
Bro.
I'm a Spotify
That's a
Spotify
good
guy.
one.
It goes straight to Apple Music, and the first song that always plays, it's ABC by Jackson 5. Fire song. But you hear, yes. I just hear, ba, 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 ba. It's like as soon as I plug my phone in, and it just drives me insane because now I hate the song.
Yeah.
So that it just, like I just wish you could make it go straight to Spotify. I don't know if you guys have any tips.
That should happen in my truck, and the only thing I have on Apple is the fucking podcast. And so I would unplug it. It was the Aaron Rodgers podcast for a month.
Yeah.
And I would incrementally get like 2 minutes at a time.
God.
But it's,
Fucking pissed me off to hear
it's
Will's
so
voice every time I get in my truck.
I bought one song on Apple Music and it was in college and it was the theme song or that sad song for The Warrior.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Heard her about today.
About today.
I
Yeah,
used to
about
fall asleep
today.
To that forever.
Just that drop every fucking time. That would be the song they'll play. And then I don't know if somebody bought the album of U2 on my phone.
it came
Or
with it
yeah,
on
if
the
it came
phone.
with some Apple. But U2 would be fucking showing up. I bet, man, I'm about to get clown for this if I got some of my homies in the car. Yeah, I mean, they got some bangers, but I think more of like listening solo, they got some bangers.
Like Nickelback back in the day.
Nah, see, I've always been comfortable with Nickelback.
Yeah. See,
But I know what you mean, like
I
that.
feel like U2 has like the same thing as people feel.
Whoa. Nickelback?
Nickelback is like, they already said they're the most hated on.
Yeah, but I think that's fake, man.
Yeah, obviously it's fake. They sell at arenas.
Yeah.
Gotta get them back. When are they coming back?
August
August.
1st, man.
We'll have them back August 1st.
We need to get at this point, we do need to get anybody on this podcast. We've had a couple and they've dropped out. We're not going to say names because we want to keep that relationship going.
Yeah, we had one someone drop out today.
Literally, yes, bro. When
2 hours before we went
when
on.
you sent that text, man,
I can't imagine what you were going through.
I was defeated just because the other one backed out yesterday that was supposed to be coming on Friday to save for next week.
And then Vegas happened.
Yeah, Vegas. We're going to go out to
5
Vegas.
good
and
pods we
yeah.
missed.
If you're interested in coming on Bussin' with the boys, please let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a bit of a drought. I hope you guys are enjoying it.
And
Enjoy
we're
the drought with us.
And again, let's give some context to the drought. It's because the goal was like pouring more into vlogs and everything else, and then we did the 2 a week, and we kind of got in a little bit of a pickle because we've traveled a couple different spots.
Had no time. like really sit down and get guests.
Yeah.
And every guest is like, seems like they can all do June. Seems like our Junes are really gonna be filled
Right.
up.
Because like then when we're like, okay, we gotta get ball players back on. Everybody's in OTAs.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta find time to either get them out here on a weekend or travel to them during the week. And just, we've gotten ourselves in a pickle. But once we get back to June when we're at our regular programming and going once a week, I think we're gonna fucking not that we're not going, we're just kind of like, It's all good though.
it's
not as
it's gonna
bad.
be all right.
It's not as bad as we think.
Yeah.
No.
It's never as bad as you think. It's never as good as you think, and it's never as bad as you think.
Give us another good quote, JP. Or Jack. Jack's got a lot of good quotes up in the noggin. I thought you were about to drop something. I was like, here he goes. Master Splinter. Yeah. Shout out, no free shout out. We got to do shout out, no free shout out, man. We can't forget our bread and butter, our positive vibes. Just drop in the comments like who you'd like to see on the bus. Drop in the comments who you'd like to see on the bus. Need you to get a shout out. Go ahead, Mitch. Sounds like you got something. Bring some positivity to this bus, the energy bus.
Mine's a feel good
Shout out
one.
John Gordon. John Gordon, right? He wrote the book Energy Bus. Too young for that, man.
Yeah. I went home this past weekend.
Too immature.
And my shout out, no free shout out, goes to when you see your dog for the first time. You haven't seen him in a long time, and they are just so excited to see you. They're like, their whole body shaking.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Their tails like isn't enough.
Yeah.
And like they immediately just get on their back and like you just rub your tummy and their tummy and stuff, and like it's just seeing your dog again.
What else do you do with your dog?
But so my shout out, no free shout out, is seeing your dog
Peanut
after a
butter?
long time.
Get that tummy out, dude. Dude, if a dog missed you so much they start whimpering a little bit, what a feeling.
Just peeing all over the floor.
Yeah. Who's next, Jackie?
This goes out to our golfers. Buy our golf merch, but it is when whether you are at the end of a round or you're after 18 and you finish, taking off your shoes after a golf round is one of the best feelings in the entire world. Take the dogs out, let them wiggle around. You get in the grass for a minute. There's like, I don't know too many feelings that kind of live up to this, but don't be in the grass too long or else you might catch chiggers and then the feeling is ruined. But
ruined forever.
For those few minutes, it really will make you think differently. So yeah, letting the dogs breathe a little bit after a long round. Buy our golf merch.
That's a good shout out.
My shout out, no free shout out, goes to when all hope appears lost on the interstate and you're trying to merge over and you're running out of lane and you think this is probably it for me. And some kind soul behind you just lets you in and you're able to merge over just before it's too late.
Nice.
Just before it's too late. There is a panic like you think you're going to die. Like,
Yeah,
oh, this is really how it's going to go, I guess.
Start trying to call your family.
Yeah. It's over.
My shout out, no free shout out, is going to go to my boy Robert Krisman. It's his wedding this weekend. He's my roommate in college. Can't wait to see him get married. It'll be badass. See all the boys. So shout out Rob.
What's his nickname? Rob?
Yeah, Rob.
You ever call him Bobby? Just wondering.
What his name?
Hit with Bobby. Hit with Bobby again. Mine?
What do you got, brother?
My shout out, no free shout out, happened to me this a couple days ago. I was with one of my buddies from Cactus Shadows, Nick Bennett, and one of my buddies from Chaparral High School, Tanner Technini. And the chemistry between the three of us was amazing. So my shout out, no free shout out, goes to when different friend groups get together and everything goes completely smooth. I loved it. It was so nice seeing them. I think I might have got a nice little friendship going.
Oh, different friend groups, like they're not boys.
They're both like they know each other, but Nick is from Cave Creek, Tanner's a Scottsdale boy. So it's
Did
just-
not know that.
Yeah,
I thought
so
the
they-
boys already got along and stuff
No,
like
no. Well, they always get along. You know, Tanner gets along with everybody. So
that. Yeah.
and Tanner misses the boys too. He wanted me to let you guys know he fucking misses you guys.
You say anything about
Especially
me?
you, Jack.
Dude, Tanner.
You say anything about me specifically?
No. Actually, didn't even mention you once.
Exactly. You wanted me to say back of the bus. You wanted me to specify.
Yeah,
back
sorry.
of
He
the
meant to
bus.
say those 4 back there.
My shout out, no free shout out, goes to bubble wrap. When I was a young buck growing up, and you get some bubble wrap in the boxes, and you just got to pop them and jump on them and snap them and make noises. It always fired me up.
Hell yeah.
And still to this day, I'll like grab and squeeze and hear that pop, and it kind of just brings me back to my childhood a
Gets
little
you
bit.
back like an
Yeah.
acid
Yeah.
trip. Like it's you right
Yeah.
back to where you were.
Yes. So my shout out, no free shout out, goes to bubble wrap.
Hell yes.
Sometimes I really do wonder the amount of friends Will had growing up. The more these stories come out,
What you talking about?
I just feel like you always have something like where you're doing something by yourself when you're little. And I was like, man, I would have been friends with you. But
Damn. What's that mean?
I'd be friends with you,
But
but
probably not.
no, I would.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I'm with Bubble. I don't mean like that's a good shout out. Bubble wrap was anytime you see bubble wrap when you're a kid, you love it.
Yeah, were you not fired up on bubble wrap?
I was.
Yeah, bubble wrap's a good, good time. Good time.
You prefer the big bubble wrap or the small bubble wrap?
that's a great question. The big boys.
Yeah, I think the
Your
big ones,
explosion.
unless you're wanting like, not even going to say it. It's not appropriate. No.
Yeah, we're not owned by ESPN. Exactly.
No, like the little ones, you get a bunch of you get all the firecracker sounds going off. So that always fired me up. But the big ones are more fun. You get to be more intentional with the pop. The small ones, you're like, man, all right, I'm gonna try and do this as fast as you can. You ever get out one of them cookie rollers and fucking roll over it? You're like, all right, hey, nobody touch this little bubble wrap. This is mine today. Get it out, put it on the table, and be like,
Has anybody done that before?
Hey, please film yourself when you do that next.
and then it just fires you up. You're like, all right, I'm good with this. Yeah,
I'm good with this stuff in the trash.
yeah.
All wrinkled up and
Yeah.
sad looking.
Like,
I'm
man,
with you.
man.
That was a good one. Should we do tier talk?
Bubble wrap.
What's tier talk this week?
What kind of tier talk do we have? Possibilities are endless.
Finn came up with this one, possibly best ice.
Best ice. Is there
God-
enough?
Yeah, we already
Is
know what
there
God
enough?
tier is.
There's
I'm saying, is
old
there-
fashioned circles ones. There's big blocked cube ones. Yeah, whiskey ice. There's crushed ice. There's the ice that you would use when you pour orange juice in the ice tray and freeze it overnight to create your own orange popsicle. There's that kind of ice.
So you're giving some game right now, low key.
Yeah, we don't have to do that though. See, you guys aren't ice experts.
I'm down with ice. I'm down with ice.
Yeah, but
You wanna do fucking
God
ice?
tier Sonic ice, right? The ice chips.
All right, I think that
Is there enough?
I think there's enough.
Let's say 5.
Going for us.
So, tier talk this week. Types of ice. Garrett is going to represent the back of the bus. There is a God tier that has been selected, and it is to Sonic Ice. Garrett, with that said, kick us off, brother.
My honorable mention, our honorable mention, is going to be dry ice.
Okay.
Tier 3 is going to be the ice. If you have like a bar area in your house and that you scoop out that ice, that's tier 3. Tier 2 can be the top hat ice, flat, rounded on the bottom. And tier 1 is going to be ice that you wear on your chain. Go ahead, boys.
Sorry. Ice around your neck. Top hat ice.
Which is maybe the worst ice.
Yeah, dry ice. Yeah, there is an argument that the top hat ice is not.
Right. Conflicted.
Underwhelming.
Want to go?
Do you want to take it?
Doesn't matter to me. I can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so Sonic Ice is God tier. My tier 3 is going to go to Ice Pops, better known as Otter Pops. The little sleeve with the flavored ice. They get a little, once it warms up a little bit, get it up. Oh, you might chew it with your teeth all the way down, make that thing a little more of a liquid.
Wait, hang on. Say that again. The ice pops. Are we talking about the like on a popsicle?
No, they're like in a little plastic sleeve. They're like
Oh,
Pops,
okay,
Freeze
okay.
Pop. We call them Otter Pops. My tier 2 goes to shaved ice. You go to a little ice truck, put the flavorings on there. God damn. Shaved ice is delicious. And my tier 1, which could have actually been a God tier for me once I thought about it more, goes to ice cream. The greatest dessert of all time. Ice cream is my tier 1.
Well done.
Tasty.
Solid.
Sweet.
Interesting.
You can tell Garrett, that one hurt Garrett a little bit.
I wasn't thinking that way, so I was a weird. Couldn't compliment you.
Disagreement. Oh, that one must have hurt. Sounds like you gotta go to therapy for that one.
All right, Willie.
My tier 3 is gonna go to the song "Ice Ice Baby" by Vanilla Ice. I thought about putting him on there. Honorable mention to Ice Cube. My tier 2.
You just go tier 3 to honorable mention.
My tier 2 is going to go to, shares one with yours, your tier 2 as well, shaved ice. I thought that was a sneaky one. I was hoping the back of the bus wouldn't pull that one. You came out of the radar with it. I was like, damn, that is a good one.
Thanks,
Shaved ice, tier 2. My tier 1 is going to go to, JP brought it up beforehand, but that Kool-Aid ice where you pour Kool-Aid into the ice tray, put it in the freezer overnight.
Popsicle, toothpick in it.
Yeah, toothpick in it.
Yeah.
Pull that thing out the next day. That is my tier 1. That is my tier 1. That concludes my tier talk for ice.
Great.
Outstanding.
Very solid.
Range.
Different.
Thank you, boys. Sounds like that one hurt you and you need to go to therapy, Mitch.
All right.
That's
Well,
a good tier talk.
That was a solid
Hey, good pull sitting. Shout out sitting, dude. Shout out sitting for that. Because at first I was very like, man, there's only a few ice. And then
the brain started going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JP opened it up a little bit. It's like, oh, yeah. And then when I started scrolling, I was like, oh, ice, ice, baby. Just fucking shout out the boys. You pulled ice cream, and I was like, oh, that's a good one.
Thanks.
That's a good one.
Thanks. Ice creams will really set it off for me to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the word ice in it. Ice cream. Yeah. 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 You're right. You're right. That was good. Oh, my God. Oh, that's a good one. I don't know if I change it, but that would have been fun to hear.
Right.
If you just think like, oh, nice.
Did you know what your honorable mention was going to be? Or did you think of Ice Cube?
No, I thought of Ice Cube. I was like, who do I want to put in there? Do I want Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice, Ice Cube? Ooh, Ice Tea. What?
Iceland?
Iceland.
Oh, yeah.
Solid country.
And what else is out there?
Ice Age.
We just said that.
No, I was talking about not the movie. I was talking about the global thing that happened.
Next tier talk, best time periods.
Yeah, best time periods.
Yeah, you said Ice Age. I was like,
My tier 3, Ice Age. My tier 2, Ice Age the movie.
you said Ice Age, like so innocent, like too. I literally had to check myself. I was like, wait a minute. Did we actually say that, or am I just fucking?
Wait a minute.
Am I just
Ooh, the iceberg in Club Penguin.
a specific iceberg? The iceberg from Titanic.
Damn.
Are we in our post show right now?
Yeah, we're in post show. Okay, no, we're not. JP says we're not in post show. So what's up?
Yeah, why not?
We're at the end of the show because it's almost 4.
Yeah, we gotta roll. Thank you, everybody. Shout out everybody. Shout out all the tiers. Drop comments. We love you.
We love you so much.
We love you. Never see us on ESPN, man.
Never.
Never. That's for the right price.